I want to talk to you about a science fiction comedy that is called The Orville. It spent 2 seasons on Fox, and it's going to be going to Hulu, is the rumor. And it was led by Seth MacFarlane. So in season 1, it had a lot of Seth MacFarlane jokes that were poopy and creepy and stuff like that. But as the show went on, it was intended to be similar to Star Trek The Next Generation, and it was as close to Star Trek The Next Generation as you can get without the actual cast. But wait, the actual cast did make guest appearances on several occasions on that show. So it kind of sort of was the next generation. And you cared about the characters. They were fun. They were loving. Most of the characters, if not all of them, you wouldn't mind hanging out with and having a drink with, spend 15 minutes or more and just chatting, and hearing their stories did they all have stories to tell? And it was very entertaining and very heartwarming. And then, of course, now I'm going to do the review for Avenue 5 on HBO that began tonight. It's not like The Orville. Yes, it's science fiction. Yes, it's on HBO. Yes, they cuss. They use the F word a lot. Yeah, definitely a lot. Everybody keeps their clothes on, which is impressive for HBO, but they do make up with it with the use of the F word. As far as the characters go and the comedy goes, there's physical comedy. There's attempts at verbal comedy. If you like physical comedy, there's a couple places where you will definitely laugh, but it's like fart jokes. It's kind of primal. It's very difficult to not laugh at a fart joke, even if you don't want to laugh at a fart joke. That's kind of the style of humor they use, not with the fart jokes, but with the physical humor. But in relationship to the dynamic of the show, every single character on the show, this is not an exaggeration, are miserable. The entire show is built upon misery, and then they get knocked off course. Hopefully that's not too much of a spoiler. And now they're even more miserable. So you take a miserable crew, a miserable bunch of guests, and then you tell them, hey, your little 8 weeks cruise, that's no 3-hour tour. You're going to be stuck on this island, on this ship, for we don't know how long. They keep changing it as the show goes on. But the point is, everyone on the show is miserable. Even the captain, who's the most honest person, played by Hugh Laurie, who's from House in America, and then he did so many shows on the BBC back in England when he was younger. And there's really good cast members on the show. But everyone is miserable. If you want to spend time with any of these characters, unlike the people from The Orville, and you want to spend time with these guys, I'm hoping you're a therapist. And if not, you might want to consider asking a therapist, why do I keep hanging around miserable, bitter people? Because that's all you're going to find on Avenue 5. I was so not expecting that. I was expecting a show with comedy and laughs and maybe some heart. Star Trek, the original series, Star Trek, The Next Generation, Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, barely. But all of them had way more comedy than Avenue 5. And you cared about all the characters. Not so much Deep Space Nine, because that was a really dark show. It took a long time to start liking those characters. But the point being that if you want to watch the show, go ahead. If you think this show is funny, please put in the comments why you think it was funny, besides the physical, because I already covered that. And if you think any of these characters are not pea and vinegar, please share, because I didn't see a single one who was a happy camper. I didn't see anybody who was a neutral camper. These people were flat out miserable. And do we need to spend more time in our lives making ourselves miserable? Isn't the whole point of comedy to take our mind away from being miserable? And here's a chance for HBO to do it with a format that's established by Star Trek, the original series, by all of the other Star Trek spinoffs, not Star Trek Discovery. Does not count. That's like saying Disney Star Wars is Star Wars. I don't think so. So, no, it's just danger, Will Robinson. Danger. Cynical, miserable, F-dropping people. How many stars would I give it? Well, I would have to say, out of 5 stars, it's 3 moons. Maybe it's your cup of tea. If it is, please put in the comments why. I have other reviews on this channel if you'd like to check them out. Luckily, of shows that were a lot more fun to watch, and a lot of other different kind of content. So it's The content is based on current events and things like that. Anyways, thanks for stopping by and watching the video, and we'll talk to you later.